Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys are staying healthy, staying happy, staying motivated. Thank you guys for tuning in to another fantastic video. I'm happy to be here making these videos for you guys. Guys, just so you guys know, I am a licensed and insured realtor here in South Florida, 305-988-2230. My name is Joel Vargas, and this is what I do every day, guys. If you need a buyer looking to sell property management, I would love to be part of what you do and how and provide value to each and every one of you guys. And I hope these videos also is part of that value. So we're going to be talking about something that we've spoken briefly about before, but we're talking about today the changes coming to the MLS for realtors. Change is coming to the MLS for realtors. This can be scary for most, including myself, because changes is always scary, but not necessarily a bad thing. And what changes are we going to be seeing, guys? Well, in the middle of August, they're going to make it so that when you work with a realtor and you're looking to buy a home, it's going to be clear-cut documentation and signings of what it is your realtor is going to make on the buying side. This is kind of controversial, and the reason that we've been having this is because, to my understanding, there were a good amount of realtors that were pretty much lying to their clients as to what they were obligated to pay. Please understand, everybody, if you're watching this, realtors or non-realtors, people that are just looking to work with realtors, it's always been negotiable, guys. The commission, nothing's ever been set in stone. I personally never lie to my clients. What I do is I give proof to the value that I add to my clients. They pay for performance, not to look good, not to look pretty, not to sit down, not to talk to people. They pay for performance. They pay to get their home sold in the fastest, most efficient way possible. That's why they hire me. So typically, real estate commissions range. They're typically about, I've never seen them go as high as 3%. It's never been a standard set rate. It's always been negotiable. And for the most part, clients do pay 3%, but it's always been negotiable. You'll see anywhere from 2 to 3%, depending on what the selling realtor negotiated with their client, which is the seller. So a lot of changes coming very soon, but there are some main provisions that are coming. You're going to have to get some contractual work signed with the buyer's agent, and we're going to get right into it, everybody. So the first provision, or one of the first signatures, documentation you're going to need when working with a buyer's agent, is it's going to clearly state how the agents will be paid and what amount they will be paid. Right now, as it is, the seller pays the buyer's agent's commission. Whatever the seller agreed to pay with their seller's agent, that commission gets split, and they pay the buyer's agent. It's been like that for 20, 30 years, so it's changing now. But now they're making it clear cut as to how the agent is going to be paying on the buying side and the amount. And again, this will be in writing, so it's very understandable. It's very clear. There are no surprises to the buyer's agent. So you're going to go into contractually with your buyer's agent. You're going to know very clearly what they're going to get paid, how much, and who's paying them. Is the buyer paying them? Is the seller paying them? The second provision coming is MLS participants, which is going to be the realtors. They may not receive any more money than what's in writing. So if the contract states that they're going to get 2%, it's going to be set at 2%. They can't take any more, or they can't make any more money than that. Again, it goes back to the main provision as to how much they're going to be making. It needs to be clear-cut writing. And the third thing is there's going to be a section in these documents that's going to say that broker commissions are not set by law. They're fully negotiable. It's always been like that. Again, guys, it's not something new that's happened. The reason why we're having these provisions and all this hoopla is because you had realtors lying to their clients, telling that their commission was set at 3%. It was never set at 3%. It's always been negotiable. So now I want to get into how as a realtor, my perspective, right? And I've said this before. I am for my clients. I am for the consumer always getting the best deal possible. I am always for the consumer getting the best rates, the best deal, because at the end of the day, if the consumer doesn't buy, there's no business, right? So I agree 100% that the consumer should get the best deal possible, and we should always protect the consumer, because that's what keeps the economy going. And at the end of the day, we're all consumers. We all want to be protected. Now, I know that there are people that are somewhat happy that this is happening because there's going to be a lot of realtors that are going to go out of business. There's some of you that think that realtors make all this money, which is simply not true, guys. On a side note, something that I did want to say is that when you guys, if you guys ever go through a lawsuit, if you guys are ever suing somebody, or let's just say hire a lawyer for those services, the lawyer, if it's compensation, right, the lawyer's going to keep 33% of what the settlement is. They're going to keep a third of whatever that settlement is. So if the settlement is $100,000, they keep $33,000 and they give you the rest, you know. Realtors, guys, each realtor in a transaction makes anywhere from 2 to 3%. And a lot of people are in arms about that. A lot of people think that realtors make too much. Guys, we make such a small percentage of such a large transaction. To me, it doesn't really seem logical that people are going to be upset at this, you know. I will say this, and understandably, there are a lot of realtors who are really bad at their job, who give the rest of us a bad rap, you know, that they've either lied, they weren't honest, or they just weren't doing their job simply because they just didn't want to do their job. They don't, whatever the reason is, it gives a lot of other realtors a bad rap. And I understand that in every business there's going to be bad apples, right? But we're not all bad, guys. There are realtors that really want the best for their clients. You don't know how many times it's happened where my client will, or how many clients I've worked with that things happen, they don't buy a home, they don't sell their home, or let me just, you know, they typically it's on the buying side, it's never been on the selling side, but they don't buy a home, or they couldn't close, they couldn't get the financing. And guys, I've worked with clients for 6 months, 8 months at a time. We don't close. All that time, all that money, all that gas, all that energy, all that analysis on budget reserves, all that goes to a waste, guys. Realtors only get paid when they close. And and reality is, there aren't many realtors closing one deal a month, guys. You know, a lot of realtors do real estate on the side. They might close a house or two every year, if that, make some decent money. But guys, real estate is a highly competitive business, and it's gonna get even more competitive now with these changes coming. Why are these changes good? Why are these changes maybe on the good side? Well, I think it's gonna be best for the consumer for these changes. I think the consumer is gonna ultimately win. It's gonna weed out the bad apples. It's gonna be very clearly stated as to what the realtor is gonna make. There's not gonna be any surprises. There's not gonna be any secrets. It's gonna be all in the open. So there's gonna be nothing in the dark, no miscommunication. It's all gonna be in writing. So at the end of the day, the consumer is the one that's gonna win. If you're a good realtor and you have your business going and it's up and running, you know, you're gonna need to adapt, myself included. You know, real estate, things change, guys. Things change, you know. As it says, as the saying goes, this too shall pass, right? These changes and this uncertainty, this too shall pass. When everything is hot and everybody's making money, this too shall pass. When everybody's struggling and doesn't know what to do, this too shall pass. So it's just interesting, guys, with the changes that are coming, of what's really happening, right? And again, I am a realtor, and it's gonna affect my business in a way, and I have to adapt. I'm gonna be forced to adapt, or if not, I'm gonna have to go back to a 9 to 5 and be miserable, which is definitely not what I want to do with my life. So you know, change is always scary, but change is good and it's necessary. And again, at the end of the day, the consumer is going to be the one that's going to be winning. With all that being said, guys, you know, this is just something that's going to affect more, honestly, realtors than anybody else. It's not going to really affect buyers in a huge way. You know, buyers aren't going to want to pay buyer's commission. There's going to be other ways around that. It could be the sellers continue to pay. It could be that the lenders are going to be willing to pay the buyer's agent. There's a lot of ways to work around this. But at the end of the day, guys, realtor commissions is not what makes homes unaffordable. Homes being unaffordable is homes being unaffordable for multiple reasons, and some very clear-cut reasons: high inflation, high interest rate, sending money, billions of dollars overseas, printing of money, billions at a time, foreign aid, decreasing the value of the dollar every week or every month, sending more money. And the big thing is that the wages are not matching the increase in lifestyles. or in price of goods. The wages aren't matching the increase in gas, food, utilities. What am I trying to get at with all this? Well, it's pretty simple, guys. What I'm trying to say is that realtors' commission fees isn't what's holding people back from buying. What's holding people back from buying is they just simply can't afford. They simply cannot afford a mortgage. It's just too expensive. I did some showings today in Plantation. All the showings I did today in Plantation were $350,000 above. Their townhomes going for almost $400,000, 2 bedrooms. You know, yeah, in good areas, but still, guys, a two bath townhome going for $400,000. It's only a very specific type of individual that can afford that. Usually higher income individuals, you know, and usually it'll take 2 people to afford a mortgage like that, you know, because interest rates are so high. Things are just simply unaffordable. And the reason I'm even saying this is because, you know, some people are upset at realtors and they have this animosity toward realtors. But guys, it's not the realtors' fault that the economy is just way too, it's just way out of control at this point, you know. It's not the realtors' fault that people can't afford to buy homes. This has to do with so many more variables. So the reason I'm even saying that, because a lot of people get caught up with realtors, and some people, again, have a lot of animosity thinking realtors make too much money. Guys, we make a decent living. Most realtors don't make over $50,000 every year. And in South Florida, you need to be at least at like 40, 50,000 to even remotely survive here, you know. So, and that's pretty much it, everybody. I know we've spoken about this topic before, but because it's happening really soon, you know, we're going into July. It's about a month. In about a month and a half, we're going to have major changes coming to this industry. And like I said, guys, we got to all be able to adapt or die in the industry. So, but that's pretty much it, everybody. Hope you guys stay healthy, stay happy, stay motivated. I do want to hear your feedback. If you guys have any feedback for me, I want to hear what you guys are thinking. What are you guys thinking? Give me some criticism. Give me some positive. Give me some negative. I want to be able to answer and have conversations with each and every one of you. Let me know what you guys are thinking. And with that being said, guys, I am a licensed and insured realtor in South Florida. My name is Joel Vargas, 305-988-2230, and I cannot wait to work with you. Have a great day.